Don't do this, Chio-ma, he whispered, his breath warm on her skin. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. Chio-ma's heart pounded as her back touched the wall. She could barely breathe. Not because she was afraid, but because she wanted this. She wanted him. And she knew it was wrong. He was her father's best friend. He was more than 20 years older. He was everything she was supposed to stay away from. But when his hand brushed against her cheek, when his eyes met hers with that mix of desire and guilt, she didn't move away. And neither did he. Have you ever wanted something so badly, even though you knew it could destroy everything? What would you do if the man your heart wanted was the one person you were forbidden to love? 2 months earlier, Chio-ma had just returned home from school after finishing her final university exams. The air in the house smelled like her mother's jollof rice, and her father's laughter echoed from the backyard. She was finally free. No more lectures. No more group projects. It was time to rest and maybe find herself. Chio-ma baby, her father called out. Come and greet Uncle Ji-dei. Uncle Ji-dei? She asked. She hadn't seen that man in years. Chio-ma adjusted her top and stepped outside. There he was. Ji-dei, her father's oldest friend. The man who used to carry her on his shoulders when she was 5. The man who bought her biscuits and gave her crisp 500 Nigerian Naira's notes at Christmas. But the man standing in front of her now wasn't just Uncle Ji-dei anymore. He was tall. Confident. His beard was now fully grey, but he wore it well. His shirt hugged his chest, and when he smiled, there was something in his eyes that Chio-ma couldn't explain. Chio-ma, he said, surprised. This can't be you. You've become a full woman. She laughed shyly. Good afternoon, uncle. Oh, don't uncle me, oh. I'm not that old. They all laughed. But Chio-ma's laughter wasn't normal. There was something in her stomach. A flutter. A heat. A feeling she couldn't describe. And when his eyes stayed on her for 1 second too long, she knew she wasn't imagining it. Have you ever looked at someone you're not supposed to look at, and they looked back the same way? Days passed, and something changed. Ji-dei started coming to the house more often. Her father didn't suspect anything. After all, they had been best friends for over 25 years. Ji-dei had always been like family. But now, whenever Chio-ma walked into the room, the air would shift. Her skin would tingle. And Ji-dei's eyes would follow her. They never touched. Never said anything inappropriate. But the silence between them was loud. One evening, Chio-ma was washing plates in the kitchen when he came in to get a glass of water. Your hands are too soft for this, he said, picking up a towel. She smiled. Are you saying I'm lazy? No, he replied, drying a cup. I'm saying you should be treated like a princess. Their eyes locked. And in that small, quiet kitchen, something passed between them. Desire. Forbidden, burning desire. The first real moment happened in the garden. It was a quiet Saturday evening. Her father had gone out to see a friend. Her mother was at a women's fellowship meeting. Chio-ma was outside reading a novel. Ji-dei walked in, looking for her dad, but when he saw she was alone, he paused. I didn't know you'd be here alone, he said. Why? Would you have stayed away? He laughed. Maybe. Why? Because it's safer that way. They were quiet for a moment. Then Chio-ma said something she had never planned to say. Are you afraid of me? Ji-dei turned slowly to look at her. No. I'm afraid of what I feel when I look at you. Her book dropped. "What do you feel?" she whispered. He moved closer, until he was only inches away. "You make me forget my age. You make me forget your father is my best friend. You make me want things I shouldn't want." Her lips trembled. "I feel the same," she said. He stepped back immediately, as if shocked by her words. "No. This is wrong. But it's real." He turned away, running his hand through his hair. "Chio-ma, you're a child to me. I'm 23. You're my best friend's daughter. But I'm also a woman." The air stood still. He didn't respond. And then he walked away. How do you stop a fire when you're the one holding the matchstick? Should love always obey rules? Or is some love worth the risk? After that evening in the garden, Chio-ma couldn't sleep. She kept replaying Ji-dei's words in her mind. "You make me forget my age. You make me want things I shouldn't want." And the way he looked at her, like she was the only woman in the world. She knew it was wrong. She knew her father would never forgive her if he found out. But she couldn't help it. She had fallen hard. And it seemed Ji-dei was falling too. It happened on a Sunday afternoon. There was a small family party at the house. Chio-ma's cousins were around, music was playing, and drinks were flowing. Ji-dei came, of course. He always came. He wore a white native outfit that made him look even more handsome. Chio-ma's heart skipped as he walked in. Their eyes met across the room. Just 1 second. But it was enough to start the fire again. Later that evening, as Chio-ma passed behind him with a tray, her fingers brushed his. A spark. He turned sharply. She froze. Neither of them moved. The house was noisy, but in that moment, it felt like they were the only two people there. Ji-dei leaned in slightly and whispered, "Careful. People are watching." She swallowed hard, but smiled. "Are you worried about what they'll say, or what you feel?" He didn't answer. But his eyes told her everything. 3 days later, it happened. Chio-ma had gone to return her dad's car keys to the office. Ji-dei was there. He handled some of her dad's business. She thought he wouldn't be around. He was. She stood in the doorway, frozen. He looked up, surprised. "Chio-ma, I didn't know you'd be here," she said. "Maybe you were hoping I would be." She smiled. "Maybe." He stood up, walked to her slowly. No one else was in the office. The air was heavy. The tension, unbearable. "Why are you doing this to me?" he asked softly. "I don't know," she replied. "Why are you letting me?" And before he could respond, she stepped forward and kissed him. His body tensed. Then he gave in. His arms wrapped around her, and for a moment, nothing else mattered. Not her father. Not the age. Not the world. Just them. Sometimes, love doesn't ask for permission. It just happens. But what do you do when the love you find is the one love the world won't accept? After that day, everything changed. They began seeing each other in secret. Late-night phone calls. Long text messages. Secret meetups at a quiet hotel on the edge of town. Ji-dei was everything Chio-ma never expected. Gentle. Caring. Passionate. He listened to her talk about her dreams. He encouraged her to start her fashion brand. He treated her like a queen. And when he touched her, he did it like she was made of glass. But the secrecy was killing them. They couldn't go out in public. He couldn't even call her during the day. They couldn't be normal. Chio-ma hated it, but she loved him more. I wish we could just run away, she whispered one night, lying on his chest in the quiet hotel room. I wish I met you at a different time, Ji-dei replied. When it wouldn't feel like I'm betraying your father. But you're not, she said. You're loving me. He kissed her forehead. But deep down, they both knew the truth would eventually come out. And when it did, it would shake everything. One rainy afternoon, Chio-ma's father came home early. She had just finished a video call with Ji-dei in her room. She had even written "I miss you" on a note she planned to send to him. She didn't expect her dad to walk in. "Chio-ma," he said, wet from the rain. "What are you hiding?" Her heart froze. "Hiding? Nothing, Daddy." He looked at her suspiciously. "Your phone. Who were you smiling at like that?" "No one." He picked up the note on the table before she could grab it. He read it aloud. "I miss you more than I should. But I'd still choose you, even if I had to choose in front of the whole world." His eyes narrowed. "Who is this for?" Chio-ma's throat dried. "Just something I was writing for myself." Her father didn't believe her. But he let it go. Barely. She called Ji-dei that night, shaking. "We have to stop this," she said. "Do you want to?" "No." "Then I'm not letting you go." "Would you risk losing your family, just to keep your heart?" Chio-ma knew it was only a matter of time. The way she smiled at her phone. The excuses. The sudden glow on her face. It wasn't hard to see she was in love. What no one knew, not even her best friend Aisha, was who she was in love with. But secrets have a way of spilling. And Chio-ma's was about to explode. It was her mother who found out first. One evening, Chio-ma returned from seeing Ji-dei and rushed straight into her room. She didn't know her mother had followed her in. Her phone buzzed. It was a message. "Ji-dei, I still taste your kiss. And I still want more." Chio-ma's mother gasped. "Mama!" Chio-ma shouted, trying to snatch the phone back. "Ji-dei," her mother's voice shook. "Ji-dei, as in your father's best friend." Chio-ma stood there, frozen. Tears welled up in her mother's eyes. "How long? Please don't tell Daddy." "How long, Chio-ma?" 3 months, she whispered. Her mother sat on the bed, hands on her head. "So all this while, you were busy destroying this family." "I didn't plan it. It just happened." "You're a child. He's old enough to be your father. He loves me." Her mother scoffed. "Love? That man doesn't love you. He's using you." "No, Mama. You don't know him like I do." Her mother stood, her voice cold now. "If your father finds out, he will kill both of you." But the truth has a way of leaking. The very next week, Chio-ma's father came home looking like thunder. His face was hard. His voice, quiet. Too quiet. "Chio-ma," he said. "Is it true?" She didn't need to ask what he meant. She couldn't lie anymore. "Yes." It was the only word she could say. Then came the silence. A silence so loud, it shook the house. He stood still, like a statue. Then his hands curled into fists. "How could you? He's my best friend. I trusted him. I trusted you. I didn't mean to." He shouted, "You didn't mean to fall into his bed." Chio-ma broke into tears. Her mother tried to calm him, but he shook her off. "That man will never come near this house again. Do you hear me? Sometimes, love doesn't just hurt, it breaks everything in its path." What do you do when the man you love becomes the enemy of your home? Ji-dei didn't fight it. He respected her father too much, and hated himself even more. He stopped calling, stopped texting, vanished from her life like a ghost. Chio-ma begged him to stay, but he didn't. He walked away, leaving her broken. She stopped eating, stopped smiling. She stayed locked in her room for days. Aisha came to visit and found her curled up on the bed. Chio-ma, she whispered, he didn't die. He just left. That's worse, Chio-ma said, because he promised he never would. 3 weeks passed. Then a letter came, handwritten, from Ji-dei. Chio-ma tore it open with trembling hands. I thought walking away was the right thing. I thought I was protecting you. But I can't breathe without you. I love you, Chio-ma. Not as a fantasy, but as a man loves a woman he wants to spend forever with. If your father never forgives me, I'll understand. But I want you to know, I'm not giving up. I'm building a life that can hold you. And I'll wait for as long as it takes. Chio-ma cried. Not because she was sad, but because hope had returned. Fighting for love. Chio-ma didn't hide anymore. She told her father that she loved Ji-dei. Not for his money. Not because of lust. But because of who he was. Daddy, she said, kneeling before him. I know you hate this. I know you hate him. But I love him. And I won't hide it anymore. Her father looked at her, eyes heavy with pain. You've made your choice, he said quietly. I hope he's worth it. He walked away. And for the first time, Chio-ma felt free. Time passed. 3 months. Then 6. Ji-dei didn't return to the house. He didn't call her father. He didn't try to force anything. But he didn't disappear either. He opened a boutique for Chio-ma, quietly, under a friend's name, just so her parents wouldn't reject it. He sent messages through Aisha to check on her. He stayed in the background, waiting, hoping. And Chio-ma, she grew. She designed dresses, built her brand. She poured her heartbreak into her creativity, but her heart still beat for him. Sometimes, love steps back, not to run away, but to grow strong enough to return. One Sunday afternoon, Chio-ma's father sat quietly in the living room. The house was peaceful. Chio-ma had gone out with her friends. Her wife brought him a cup of tea. And he sighed deeply. She's still in love with him, he said suddenly. His wife nodded. Yes. And he's still in love with her. She was just a child in my eyes, he muttered. How do I forgive a man who touched my daughter? She's not a child anymore. And he didn't force her. I know, he said, rubbing his forehead. That's what hurts most. She chose him. His wife touched his arm. You once told me that real love is rare. If she has it, even if it came in the most unexpected way, maybe we should thank God, not fight him. That week, Chio-ma came home to find an envelope on her bed. A handwritten note. From her father. If this is truly what your heart wants, then I want to see the man you chose. Bring him for lunch on Sunday. Let's talk, man to man. She froze. Then screamed with joy. She couldn't believe it. He was opening the door. Sunday came. Chio-ma wore a soft pink gown that Ji-dei once said made her look like sunset after rain. Ji-dei showed up at the gate in a clean native wear, holding flowers and wine. He was calm. But anyone could see the nerves in his eyes. Her father opened the door himself. They stared at each other for a long moment. Then, the older man stepped aside and said, "Come in." Ji-dei bowed. "Thank you." Lunch was tense at first. Small talk. silent glances. Awkward pauses. Then, her father asked the big question. What are your intentions? Ji-dei put down his spoon, wiped his mouth, and looked straight into the man's eyes. I want to marry her. No blinking. No hesitation. Not now, Ji-dei added. Not tomorrow. But when she's ready. When you're ready. I'll wait. I'll do it right. Chio-ma's father was silent for a long time. Then he said, you know you'll be the topic of every gossip in town. Ji-dei smiled. They've already started. But I don't care. I didn't choose this love to hide it. Chio-ma's father stared at him. Then, he laughed. A real, deep laugh. You're a stubborn goat, he said. But at least you're my goat. 2 years later. The wedding was simple. Elegant. Beautiful. Some people whispered. Many judged. But most cried, because the way Ji-dei looked at Chio-ma when she walked down that aisle. It was pure. True. Unshakable. He had waited. She had fought. And together, they had turned a scandal into a story of love and patience. So what if he was older? So what if he was once her father's best friend? Love, real love, doesn't always follow rules. It just follows the heart. As Ji-dei lifted her veil and kissed her softly, Chio-ma whispered in his ear. I'd still choose you again. And he smiled, brushing her cheek. Then I'd still wait again.